Hello and welcome to the solution run through for Matter by myself, the pedaling pianist. Now I'm calling it a solution run through because usually I like my solution guides to accommodate for the possibility that some of my viewers may be quite new to advanced Sudoku, because I think that's quite a nice thing to do. However, that often results in enormously long videos that are probably quite off-putting to newer solvers anyway. So I thought today, in the interest of conciseness, I won't give a detailed breakdown of every single logical step on the way to solving this puzzle. It will be more just a tour of the right places to look and the right questions to ask to solve the puzzle, and I won't necessarily go into a lot of detail answering those questions. Now, a little bit of background on this puzzle. I posted this a few weeks ago on Logic Masters Germany and gave it a 3-star difficulty rating. And the reason I gave it only 3 stars is because I do think it is a fair bit easier than the hardest puzzle that I've ever posted on Logic Masters Germany. But I think what I have failed to realise is that that does not make it easy in the slightest. So I've since upped it to 4 stars. And today I actually posted it in the puzzle testing submissions channel in the Cracking the Cryptic Discord. And someone did solve it. I don't know if you want to be named on this video. If you do, leave a comment and I'll give it a like. But this person dedicated 4 hours of their time to solving my puzzle, for which I am enormously humbled and grateful. So thank you so much for that. And they rightly observed that it is a very, very difficult puzzle. To be fair, I don't think they spotted the intended solution path by the sounds of it, and so they may have made it a little bit more difficult for themselves than was entirely necessary. But I think the more I look back on this puzzle, the more I realise that the intended solution path is very, very difficult to spot. So I think, yeah, I was probably completely mad to rate this as 3 stars out of 5. Anyway, the whole point of making this a run-through rather than a walkthrough is to try and make the video nice and quick. So let's get on with it. I'm not going to explain all of the rules. They're just standard Sudoku, Renban, Dutch Whispers, even digits, the Krotke rule, consecutive digits, and then these sum to 5. Right, the first place to look is in box 5, and with this particular arrangement of Dutch whisper lines, you can go through the possibilities if you like. I'm not going to explain it in detail. I'm going to resist, even though my instinct is telling me to explain every tiny thought process in a lot of detail. But yes, what you eventually conclude is that this must be a 5 and this must be a 1-9 pair. Now, at this point, we can do a little bit of set theory. It's a relatively famous result within the Sudoku community that these cells, let's make them blue, and these cells, let's make them green, are the same digits, except blue has an extra set of the digits 1 to 9. You can do that by highlighting, oh, my mouse is a little bit dodgy today, all of these 5 columns and highlighting them blue, all of these 4 rows, highlighting them green, and then if you remove the cells in common, then you get this result. Now, what we know about a 9-cell Renban line, which this is that it is a set of the digits 1 to 9. So if blue is exactly one set of the digits 1 to 9 more than green, then we can just delete that, and now blue and green are exactly the same. They contain exactly the same digits. We can also cancel out these digits because each of those we know will be exactly one set of the digits 1 to 9, so we can conclude that blue and green must contain exactly the same digits. Now, this digit has to go in green. I'm going to play it out. I think it is visualizable without actually writing it out in longhand, but I will do that for now. 9 must appear in green somewhere. Obviously, it doesn't appear where the 1 already is. Also, apologies if the camera shakes a bit. My mouse is strange, so I will be using my touchscreen laptop. Very fancy, I know. But if that means that the webcam wobbles a bit, my apologies. Anyway, 9 must go in here, and as soon as it's on this 7-cell Renban, 7-cell Renban becomes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By symmetry, exactly the same thing happens over there. The 1 must go on there, and therefore this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But we know that green and blue are the same digits. 2 must go on this Renban, but it never appears in green, so it can't appear in blue. So 2 goes here. 8 must appear on this Renban, but because it never appears in blue, it can't appear in green, so it must go here. Yes, and that's about as far as we need to go. So obviously all of this was predicated on this being a 9 and this being a 1. If it was the other way around, we'd get an 8 here and a 2 here. So anyway, let's clear all of those kind of hypothetical digits. What we do know, though, is that this is a 2-8 pair, and they are different. One is 2 and one is 8. They aren't both 8 or both 2. And as soon as that's a 2-8 pair, these even digits can be neither 2 nor 8. So they are a 4-6 pair. Right, something else we can do immediately is put 5s on both of these 5-cell Renban lines. As soon as a Renban line is 5 cells, it must have a 5 on it. So, again, I'm going to play this out. I don't think this is absolutely necessary, but I will play it out just to make it a very clear explanation. If we put a 4 here, well, neither of these can be 5, so it must be a 2 and a 3 to complete the Renban line. Now, we are expecting, hopefully it's fairly clear, we are expecting on this Dutch Whispers line to have 2 highish digits from 6, 7 and 8, and 2 lowish digits from 2, 3 and 4. If we just play that out, if this is a 9, then these have to be from 2, 3 and 4, that will be the 1, and this will be 6, 7 and 8. Well, as soon as we've got a 2 or a 3 down here, a lowish digit, that's all 3 low-ish digits for the box, so we need a high-ish digit for the box just here. And because we can't make this a 5, we can't make something like 6, 4, 5. This is going to have to be a 6. We can't kind of bridge the gap to allow this to be a 4 instead, so this is going to be 6 with a 7, 8 pair either side. What this also tells us is that the 6 and the 4 in this box, let's just get rid of these digits for now, the 6 and the 4 in box 5 must go on the Dutch Whisper line. 6 on a Dutch Whisper line, in the middle of a Dutch Whisper line, because there aren't any ends here. Every digit, every cell on this Dutch Whisper kind of arrangement has at least 2 neighbours on the line. So a 6 on a line like this must be flanked by a 1 and a 2. It's the only 2 possible neighbours for a 6. And a 4 must be flanked by an 8 and a 9. So we're going to have this kind of arrangement in the finished grid. And what that means is that this can never be a 2, so it must be a 3. This can never be an 8, so it must be a 7. This is all getting very hypothetical. We're guessing that that's a 4 and we're guessing that that's a 9, but because of the symmetry of the grid, what we can say is that this must be a 3-7 pair. And actually, this becomes a 2, this must be an 8. So we can get rid of all of these hypothetical digits, but what we can do is we can put in, once we've got rid of all of those, we can put in that this must be a 2-8 pair, and crucially, this must be a 3-7 pair. That means we've got all of the odd digits in box 5, so this becomes 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, there is one more clever trick to do with a little bit of geometry, and for that I'm going to get rid of my highlighting and make blue these 4 cells. Where do those 4 digits go in row 5? Well, they can't repeat on their Renban line, so they go there. Where do these 4 digits go in column 5? They can't repeat on their Renban line, so they must go there. And what we can see is that blue, 5, and red is a set of the digits 1 to 9. We can see it here because we know that's a set of the digits 1 to 9, and that is blue, 5, and red. We can also see it in this row and in this column. Blue, 5, and red is a set of the digits 1 to 9. So we have this extra shape here, so we can consider this as an extra region in the grid, or an extra Renban line, an invisible Renban line going through this L shape. Okay, bank that information for the moment. Let's actually get rid of this highlighting. There we. Oh no, not that. There we go. Um, now, if this is a 9, then this is going to be. They're going to be the low digits. That's going to be the 1, and that's going to be the high digits. Hopefully, you can see that this causes a problem with this extra region of the grid, or this extra Renban line, because now we have a 2-4 pair on this kind of invisible Renban line. And that breaks this V. It can no longer be a 2 and a 3, and it can no longer be a 4 and a 1. So this does not work. So actually, finally, we can say with certainty that this is the 9, this has got to be the 2-4 pair, this is the 6-8 pair, and this is the 1 to allow that V to exist. Now, this white Crocky dot, every white Crocky dot must have an even digit and an odd digit on it. The even digit, because of this kind of extra Renban line, cannot be a 6 or an 8, so it must be a 2 or a 4. We can't make the Crocky dot include a 5, so these digits are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. But so are these digits from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they are on an invisible Renban line together. So these must all be different, so they add up to 10, except we know those two sum to 5, so these must also sum to 5, and they are consecutive, so they must be a 2-3 pair. And that means that's a 1-4 pair. This 2-3 pair gives us a 4 there, and we also get a 2 there. Now to keep these at least 4 apart, that becomes an 8, that becomes a 6. We also know that this completes this kind of invisible Renban line around here, so it must be a 7-9 pair. 3 on this Renban line, oh hold on, we can fill this in as an 8 and fill this in as a 2. The initial hypothetical guess of that being a 9 and that being a 1 led to that being a 2 and that being an 8. If it was the other way around, then that would have been the 8 and that would have been the 2. But yes, hopefully you remember the logic from there. If you don't, rewind because I'm trying to make this video concise. Okay. So there must be a 3 on this Renban line, and it's not in this box, so there's 3 there. That gives us the 7 there and the 3 there, and that unwinds these Renban lines. And to be honest, oh, hold on, and the 7 now on this Renban line, it must exist on the Renban line, so it goes there, and that resolves this kind of 7-9 pair that we've got going on the invisible Renban line, which is now effectively complete. Right, so from this point on, I don't think there are any other particularly tricky tricks in the solution path. So if you found the break-in and kind of the subsequent few steps particularly difficult, then fair enough. I think you've seen everything you need to see. I think from this point onwards, it should be clear enough. But I will try and whiz through the rest of the solution as quickly as possible. This is a 5-cell Renban line that can't include a 4, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is a 5-cell Renban line that can't include a 6, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 must go on this Renban line, and it must go in this kind of flank of it. 4 as well can't go in there, so it must go there. So that is 4, 6, and 7, meaning that this is the remaining digits on the Renban line must be 3, 5, and 9. This is 2, 6, and 8 to complete the box. This is 1, 5, and 7 to complete the column. This is 3, 6, and 9 to complete the column. This is 2, 4, and 8 to complete the column. We can get rid of some of those candidates. To be honest, we can probably come back to that later. 4 resolves 4, 1. This is 1 and 3 to complete the box, but that 1 does that for us. Now, oh, actually, this is a maybe slightly tricky trick to disambiguate box 7. There must be a 4 by normal Sudoku in one of those 3 cells. And 4 on a Dutch whisper line can only ever go next to 8 or 9. And because 8 is already taken, it can't go kind of in a middle cell along the line, otherwise it can't have 2 possible neighbours. So it must be a 4 there, a 9 there, and by normal Sudoku, this is also a 1. Then we must have a high-ish digit there, 5, 6, or 7. It can't be a 5 because that would then have to be a 9. So we go back to a low digit here, and it can't be 1, 3, or 4, so it is a 2. The 1, 2 pair knocks itself out of there and into there. That takes a 2 out of there and puts a 2 there. 3, 4, and 5 gets rid of 4 just there. That's a 6, 7 pair, making that an 8. This is a 1, 5 pair to complete the box. This is a 7-9 pair, but that's resolved by the 9 over there. Goes in like that. The 4 and the 6 makes that a 7, which resolves this 6-7 pair. That becomes a 4. What else are we looking for? 9 and 7 put themselves into these cells, making this a 5-6-8 triple, making that a 2, which I think it has been already for a while now. There's quite a lot of normal Sudoku you can avail yourself of at this stage. It's hopefully falling apart at this point, really. These digits are, what are they, 3, 5, and 6? What's going on there? Why can't I immediately... Oh, yes, that's a 5. So that does the 5 and the 1 and the 2, the 2 and the 3 and the 6. Okay, the 5 goes there, and 9 and 7. What's going on in this box? We need 2 there, and this is a 5-9 pair, which I don't think is yet resolved. This is 1, 7, and 8. We can take the 1 out of there, the 7 out of there, and this is 3, 4, and 6. Now, we have to think a little bit harder about this line at this point. This is a 5-cell Renban line that doesn't involve a 2, so it certainly can't involve a 1, otherwise it would require a 2. The 1 therefore must go off the line, and it's not there, so we get a 1 there or there, so that puts a 1 there, and a 1 there in box 6. Now, what happens if we put a 3 on the Renban line? If we put a 3 on the line, then the digits that are off the line are 1, 8, and 9. So the 8 and the 9 would both have to squeeze into that cell, which is not allowed. So 3 cannot go on the Renban line, so it goes there. And 3 and 4 come out of there, so that becomes a 6. We get a 3 just there because of that. That becomes a 4. And now there is a 4 on the Renban line, so it must be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Making this a 9-1 pair. 1 comes out of there. 7's been out of there for ages. 1 is also out of there, so that's a 1. Now, these two cells must be 4 apart, and they must be from 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, so they must be the extreme digits. They must be 4 and 8, so the 4 goes there, 8 goes there. Resolves the 4 and the 8 just here. The 5, 6, and 7 is resolved with a 7 there, and a 6 in the corner and 5 there, just by normal Sudoku. The 7 and the 5 goes in like that. That's a 6. That's a 9 and a 3 just there. The 7 and the 8 is done. The 9 and the 5 is done. These are all just normal Sudoku digits. That's 8, 5, and 6. We get a 4 here, 5 here, and of course, a 3 in the corner. There we go. That is the solution. There is some very difficult stuff to do in that break-in and some awkward tricks with like this extra Renban line in the grid. So yes, on reflection, probably a lot harder than just 3 stars in difficulty. But do let me know what you think. I think if you spot the right things, it's not too difficult, but you have to be quite an advanced Sudoku solver to get it. Anyway, I'm rambling and I want this video to be quite concise. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for attempting the puzzle yourself, if you have had a go at it yourself. Please, if you enjoy the content, like, comment, and subscribe, and have a lovely rest of your day.